Star Wars Geek girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Wasn't expecting that when the intro ended. Welcome everybody to Star Wars Geek Girl. I'm Zoe, and as usual, I'm here with Lizzy.
Hi.
And we're also here joined by Steele of Steele Wars podcast.
When's the crying begin?
It can happen whenever. We don't judge.
Okay.
We never know when it's coming.
Okay. All right. I'll brace myself. That is Sal Perales. What an artist.
Yeah.
Who was the last person Vanessa? Vanessa was also like, oh my god.
Well, it's fun though, because we've had people because we've had that intro for a long time now, but when we're on the show, when we used to record Zoom and stuff, no one would ever hear it. We just add it in. But now with this, we can add it in while we record. It means everyone gets to hear it when they're on the show.
And what an experience it is. That is.
I like the live reaction.
It's really fun. So this week we're going to talk about some Star Wars Celebration speculation. We're about 2 weeks away from Celebration, which is crazy. I feel like it hasn't set in that I'm going to Tokyo.
So is that part of the speculation that we're 2 weeks away, or is that confirmed?
Well, that is confirmed.
Okay. All right.
That we're 2 weeks away. Star Wars Celebration starts on the 18th, which it will really be the 17th in LA time here. It'll be the 17th.
Oh, that's important. Thank you. I need to note that.
Yeah, well, I only really put that together because I put all the panels and stuff into my Apple Calendar, and I put it in Tokyo time. But since I'm still in LA, it shows it to me in LA time. So the Mandalorian and Grogu panel, which is Friday morning at Celebration, will be at 6 p.m. on the 17th, on Thursday.
Got you. Apple Calendar does not deal well with changing of times. It's very frustrating. Like when you change, it just doesn't handle it well. It doesn't adapt. It changes everything, and it's so if you've booked something in another country on the Friday, and then you get to that country, it'll change it to a Thursday. It's just
when you put it in your calendar, you can put what time zone you're putting it into.
Really?
And then it automatically converts it to wherever you are. So for me, when I put in the panel, when I selected time, I selected the time zone as well. So I selected 10 a.m. or whenever it is on Friday, Japan time. But since I'm here, it automatically converts it in the general calendar spread to show me when it is, if in this time zone.
Okay.
When I click on it, because when I click on it right now, it's showing me what time it is here, but it's also saying what time it is in Japan. It will be in Japan because that's the times that I logged with that event.
Okay. I do have to admit, when I met you when you were 4.5 years old, I never knew that you would pass on such a useful piece of information. That has plagued me for a decade.
Well, it all started with periwinkle. I feel like
this is true, but yes. But next time you put in an event on your Apple Calendar, when you put in the time right below, it'll say time zone. You can select what time zone you're putting it in for.
Oh my god, you're like a real life Siri. I can't wait to use my iCal now. I was so frustrated with iCal for a decade.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was always like this. But yeah.
I have Android. I'm pretty sure it does it for me.
Get out.
I'm sorry. It never had this problem.
But yeah, as long as you select what time zone, so then like when you're in that time zone, it will be right as long as you put it in that time zone.
Okay. Harry just wants to say hello, I think, on the podcast.
Oh, it's Harry. Hello, Harry.
I thought you were asleep.
Why do you want it opened? There you go.
Oh, his mushroom cup. Very fun.
Shrooms.
Don't say that.
Oh, you're right. My bad. That's why I'm not allowed to babysit kids.
I'll add it to the list.
One of many. But yeah, so I guess that's the first part of our podcast, I guess. If you're in Japan and looking to follow the news, make sure you know what time zone the panels are in.
This podcast has already paid for itself and it's free. But that time zone thing that's insane. That's like changed the game for me.
Yeah. Well,
because I go back and forth from Australia to America all the time, and it's so annoying when everything like changes. Like it was just, oh my god, this is huge.
Happy to help. So yeah, look for that time zone thing. Yeah, so I guess if you're, speaking of time zones, if you're following the news for Celebration from wherever you are, so I only have it pulled up here because I just opened my calendar when we were talking about this, but I have it up here. So like the Mandalorian Grogu panel, if you're in LA, obviously I don't know every time zone, but if you're in LA or the West Coast of the US, look for the news, like I think it's like 9 hours before. So like the Mandalorian Grogu panel, that's Friday morning at Celebration, will be 6 o'clock here, and like so on. So if you're planning on following the news or watching the live stream, just know it'll be at different times.
So what time will it? What day of the week will it be?
It'll be it'll be Thursday. It'll be the day before in the America. It'll be the day before generally.
So Thursday night at 6 p.m.
Yes, Thursday night at 6 p.m. for Mando and Grogu.
Got you.
Yes.
This podcast has been so informative for me so far, I do have to say.
That's I don't generally consider us informative, but this is great. Glad we're breaking new territory here. Speaking of time zones, if you want to watch us on the HoloNet news stage at Celebration, on the West Coast of the US, we will be at 7:30 p.m. on Friday. If you're at Celebration, we will be at 11:30 a.m. This year, we're not at the same time as any big panels, so you can come hang out with us and then go to the big panels before and after.
You're live streaming your panel?
Yes, that's.
Is that
plan.
A service that they provide, or you're just
that's going to be me and my laptop and
got you
hooking it up. But yes, we'll be trying to live stream that. So check out that for sure. HoloNet News Stage, like I said, if you're here, 11:30 a.m. Is that an AT-AT?
It is an AT-AT.
That's very cool.
Harry's just showing a few teddy bears.
Showing a few Star Wars toys. Oh, nubs. Love some nubs.
They all like seeing nubs. I'm not sure if you can. I've got my headphones in. I don't know if you could hear it on the microphone. Probably not. But when Nubs gets moved, you can hear the rustling of change because Nubs has eaten quite a few like quarters and dimes and stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, so we've got this like electronic Nubs that lights up a lightsaber and stuff. And he makes the really cool noises, but he's eaten a lot of cash over the year or so we had him. We actually got it at the thing at like Century City that Sal did lightsaber training at. Did you go to that, Lizzy, or no?
I think I was probably in school or something. Yeah, no, when I was little, my parents would buy me little cooking pots and pans, like toy ones. and I had the Galactic Heroes Star Wars figures, and they bought me like the pans and stuff, but I didn't have like fake food to cook them in, so I cooked the Galactic Heroes. So Anakin soup and like Padme's stew and things like that.
What a bizarre upbringing you had, to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, well, that's cool that you're live streaming it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not, like I said, like last year at London, or not last year, but last time at London, we were at the same time as the High Republic panel. And so there are people who are like, I'm going to go to High Republic. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. But we're not at the same time as any big panels. So
I did one at London, and it was an excellent podcast, I have to say, with Details, who was in The Force Awakens at the time. And it was opposite the Rebels panel where Grand Admiral Thrawn was revealed.
Oh.
And we could hear the reveal. Like, we could hear the roar from like the stadium or wherever it was.
Mm.
But it was a fine podcast, and people cried at it. It was like an episode of Star Wars Geek Girl.
Oh, perfect.
Excellent.
Representing us.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we can talk about, so this is our pre-celebration speculation podcast. So I have a list of like the big announcement panels, announcement-ish panels, because I don't think they're all confirmed now announcements. But I guess it's what we think.
You got to have announcements.
We'll have. No, I'm sure they'll have plenty. Well, they're not having. What was interesting to me is they're not having a Lucasfilm Studio showcase this year, because normally that's what they kick everything off with. This is a big studio showcase panel where they show a whole bunch of stuff. But they're not. The first big panel this year will be Mandalorian and Grogu on Friday.
It's very concerning. Like it's so weird that like at the London one they had like Daisy Ridley come out to promote her movie, and now it's just like, yeah, we're not going to mention that now. It's
interesting.
That's in the Rian Johnson trilogy folder.
What happened?
At Celebration London, they announced the Rey movie that takes place 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. And it is, according to all reports, still going. But they haven't really mentioned it too much officially. But yeah, so instead of a studio showcase with a whole bunch of, because like they also would do like Indiana Jones and like Willow and all that kind of stuff, studio showcase, but they're not having that. Which I also think kind of might be a good thing. Like, I think sometimes they announce things a little bit too early, and then we don't hear anything again for a long time.
Andor.
So I like, Andor. So I like, I like holding on to it a little bit, and then being like, this comes out next year. It's like, wow, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Something to look forward to.
Wait, what did you say, Andor?
Well, Andor was announced like right after Rogue One.
Yeah.
Like right after.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. They announced like right after Rogue One, that they were making a show about Cassian Andor.
No, they.
And then we didn't.
No,
and then we didn't. Yes, it did.
Because I was so excited because I was like, Andor is so cool, and they were like, yeah, they're gonna make a show, and I was like, what? That's crazy.
What? You're out of your mind.
They announced it so far away.
No, it wasn't right after at all.
It wasn't terribly long after.
Streaming after Rogue One, streaming platforms didn't exist.
Okay, it says that it was announced, according to the Wikipedia, it was announced in 2018, in February 2018. So a year after Rogue One. It would have been right after Last Jedi. They announced it.
I don't know about that at all.
No, I remember it being a really early announcement.
How was it announced? What was it going to show on? Like, when did Disney Plus even...
It was when they first announced Disney Plus. That was coming in a couple of years. Or in about a year, in a little more than a year. They announced Disney Plus.
All
was
right,
coming
right
out. And they
there.
said, we have some Star Wars TV. I have the Hollywood Reporter up right now.
Okay, what?
This is an article from February 6, 2018. Star Wars TV series, Disney developing a few for its streaming service. Yeah, Bob Iger announced that Disney was developing a live-action Star Wars TV series.
Star
The
Wars Geek
the
Girl.
as yet untitled Disney digital platform will debut in late 2019.
Star Wars Geek Girl.
This
the
is when
Geek
they
Girls who
announced that
school.
the Bainoff at the
Steele.
same time they announced the Bainoff and Weiss live action show. So the
No,
Game of
but-
Thrones series.
No,
And they also announced.
Okay. Listen, he announced the streaming service in 2018. Andor came out in 2016.
Right, but he announced it because
That's 2
Andor
years.
came out. It was 1 year because Andor came out December 2016.
Yeah, and this
Like,
was announced
nearly over a year.
November 8th.
No, February 8th, 2018. February 6th,
listen,
2018. It's right here. I have it on Hollywood Reporter.
Listen, AI overview. All right.
Oh no, not AI.
I'm positively against AI, but it just comes up on Google.
I don't know, bro. You're using AI right now.
I didn't have a choice. It just comes up on Google. Is there a way to turn it off?
No, I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
This is a battle between you and Steele, Zoe. I'm sorry.
That's what it says right here. It says it was announced when they announced Disney Plus on Hollywood Reporter.
Oh, okay. It says it was later named
my
Disney
phone died.
Plus on November 8th. Okay.
But it was before they announced, before they even called it Disney Plus. They had a couple shows. One of them was a prequel to Rogue One about Andor.
Wild.
Even still, Andor being announced, if it was, announced in November 2018, that's still, what, like 3 years?
I think it seems like so much longer to you because you're like half as young as me. So it's like twice the
Maybe.
time. Like
Maybe.
in like
In like dog
comparatively.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't know
Let's
who's the dog in this scenario, but
I think I'm the dog.
Hmm.
I think is what
I'd
that
say
meant.
cat, which is a compliment.
Or cat. Cat ears.
Where did Lizzie just go?
Lizzie got tired of us.
No.
already.
No, my phone died, so my camera doesn't work anymore.
Your
Yeah,
But I'm
phone
still here.
died.
You gotta
Because
have
it's
your
connected
camera
to
on.
my phone.
You gotta have your camera on. It's just I can't look at.
I don't have a camera.
It's just rude.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have a camera on my PC, so I have to use my phone, and then she died.
Yeah, well, there's this little thing I like to call plugging your phone in.
I don't have a plug near me.
Oh God.
You're at
all
your
the way at
computer
my
desk and
bed.
there's no phone plug?
What did
I know. I've been trying to get one.
Did I
but
go
every
to your
time I
fourth
spend it on something
birthday
else.
on Sunday?
Because
Because my son, if his iPad is running low, he's 6 and he says, "I need charger. Get me the charger."
I don't take care of my phone.
That sounds like a you problem.
That's what I've been saying.
Regardless, Mandalorian Grogu panel, Friday morning at Celebration in Japan. I wonder if we'll get a publicly released trailer out of this. Because we're coming up, the
What else
movie
would-
slated for May 2026. So we're coming up on just over a year till it comes out. That's a pretty typical time frame for a first trailer to come out.
Do you want what I think would be a good idea to do, or my cynical opinion?
Cynical.
We can have both. Okay.
I think we'll be looking at someone. I hope everyone else has charged their phones better than Lizzie has for this
Oh,
podcast,
goodness.
because I think that's how we're going to be watching. I definitely think they'll show footage because they showed.
Oh,
footage.
I think they'll show a trailer. I think they'll. My question is if they'll release a trailer or not. I think they'll definitely show stuff at the panel, but it's what will they release? 'Cause I think I could see them releasing a trailer.
I wonder if Jon Favreau will talk about how they're playing in their sandbox. because I just that's one thing I just want to hear more about their sandbox and how they're playing in it.
Sandbox. What is happening? What did I miss on these celebrations?
I think you're very unplugged from much of Star Wars
And you're
discourse, Lizzie.
you're much
I
like your,
really am.
you're much like your phone, unplugged.
Yeah, for real.
So just
For
everyone listening,
real.
so it's like we're on this
I-
streaming thing, and
Ow.
I've got a rectangle. I'm here. Zoe's up above me. She's got a rectangle, and then Lizzie's rectangle is just black now.
You know what? I'm gonna go
but
get my
her
charger.
rectangle does have like a.
I was gonna say I have a Star Wars Geek Girl on mine. Does that
like
count?
like a water.
I can take that away.
No, that's the only thing I have to my name.
It just doesn't work with like that. I can see Zoe.
No.
Okay, the thumbnail's gone now. Probably for the best.
You know what? I'm gonna go get my
I'll go
charger.
back.
You guys talk about Star Wars discourse.
The disc horse.
I am shocked about this Andor getting announced in 2018. That's just not how I remember it at all.
No, I remember it being announced really early because like Rebels was still on and everything
Really?
when it was announced.
I remember like Kathleen Kennedy on some YouTube video about Disney Plus, and she was surrounded by 27 logos of shows.
Yeah,
that
oh
never
yeah,
came
that
out.
one. But Andor had already been announced at that point. That was when they announced Ahsoka, Lando, Tales of the Droids, or Droid Tales, I think it was.
I think it was Droid Tales, yeah.
Droid Tales, a whole bunch of stuff.
The
But
new-
Andor
the-
had already been announced.
The new, what was it? The something of the New Republic, the Rangers, New Republic.
Oh, Rangers. Yeah, I am still holding out hope for Lando because I do enjoy Donald Glover's Lando a lot.
Yeah,
But I
it'd be
think
sick.
We'd be
Whatever
waiting
happened-
for that.
That droids thing is so bizarre because, like, Anthony Daniels did motion capture for it, and it's just like, where to go?
Nope, I'm sure they'll pull it out of the vault at some point, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't particularly like excited for it at all, but it is just weird that it just like evaporated.
Yeah. So I wonder if they're if that's, maybe they're not doing the Lucasfilm Studio showcase because they have so many things in early development and want to hold off until for announcing it. Maybe would be, I guess.
Yeah, I just wish there was like it's. I know I can see why they're not doing it because they've got nothing to show, but it's annoying they've got nothing to show because
Mhm.
I want to see Daisy Ridley again.
I would love to see Daisy Ridley, and I'm sure that'll happen maybe sooner than we think. But I'd rather them wait until they have something more substantial, so they can like show us versus just teasing it a little bit. So I'm okay with not hearing about it so far because I think right now they're still like in like development for it, like still being in the early days.
Yeah, they're still firing writers and getting new writers and all that sort of exciting stuff. But are you excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu?
I am. I'm honestly because I know in the D23 footage, which I wasn't at D23, but just reading about it, they showed Zeb is going to be in the movie, and I love Zeb. So
I can text you the video
excited for him.
that Corey took.
Oh no! Don't get Corey in trouble.
Are we talking about Corey?
Yeah.
Corey? Oh no.
All right, Lizzie's back, everyone. We can see her.
In her
Hello.
Kirby shirt.
Yeah, it's hot in the gaming room. There's 2 PCs in here and no ventilation, so
Yeah, so yeah, I don't think they'll show a trailer publicly, but if they do, kudos. And I hope it shows more than just Star Wars references, because what they showed at D23, it was nothing but Star Wars references. everything was like a callback. AT-ATs, Zeb. What's a ship called? Razor
You guys
Crest.
say AT-ATs, really?
Don't start that.
I'm just saying. We were talking about discourse a little bit. I'm just saying.
That's
I've been
old
saying
news.
AT-AT all my life.
It's an AT-AT.
Sounds so not
No, it just doesn't
sick.
matter. Like
I'm just asking if
No,
that's
but
your guys' choice.
no, but
That is my choice.
if you want to argue it,
Oh, no.
no, I think this will shock you.
Okay.
This will shock everyone.
Heard.
If you want to argue it, I think you're right. But who cares?
Fair
Because
enough.
they're called ATSTs.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's AT-AT because it's, do you know what I mean? Like, so
Ats.
so they're not called an ATS, but maybe they are. But
I mean, I think if we say ARC troopers, you can say AT-AT. You don't say ARC troopers.
I don't say troopers much anyway.
Okay.
I say, look at that trooper. I don't know what it's called.
I don't think I've ever said ARC trooper in my life.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
I just
Well, you guys can talk about clones.
I just say clone.
Clone, yeah.
That's a cool looking clone.
Oh, and they're just
But if
all...
they would
They're
have
all
got
the same to
promoted
me,
and they're
you
an
know?
ARC trooper.
They're all the same to me, you know?
They are all the same. Oh, my stars, are they all the same? Oh.
So what else are we speculating?
Well, so Miller and Grogu. Yeah, I am curious to see if we learn, because I feel like we haven't learned much about like what the public, like they haven't announced much of like kind of what the plot is gonna be. Obviously, I'm not gonna reveal like an outline of it.
Team
But
Grogu.
well, I just like I feel like the Mandalorian season 3 ended not definitively, but on a really good note of like the two of them chilling in a cabin. That was a great ending. And so now the question is like, well, what are they doing? What's next for them after the cabin?
They're desperately on a mission to make Disney some money and have a successful film. And
Easy enough.
And not burn money on a TV show. That's I could not be more cynical about this film whatsoever. It's ugh.
But you got Grogu in your corner right there. In the corner.
Yeah, Harry painted that actually.
How could you not be so excited for something Harry might be excited for?
Yeah, like I will go and I hope it's going to be dope, but I don't think it will have, like, for a Star Wars film, I want to be able to ponder it and then like afterwards like, oh, what did where does this lead and stuff. And I think it's just going to be a very glorified episode of The Mandalorian and Grogu.
I
Fair.
think Grogu's there.
And I also just really did not like season 3.
Oh, I liked season 3. I liked all the seasons so far.
Oh, the first 1 and 2 were like such a gift, but they ended on that amazing cliffhanger with Luke taking Grogu, and then after that it all just fell apart.
I see.
Like imagine, right, if they're like, this film's coming up and they were still separated, or they'd just gotten back together at the end of the 3rd season. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you'd just be like, oh, like if they were still separated, you'd just be like, I'd be like, oh, this film, can't wait. Yes.
It would just be God of War 2, pretty much.
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, cool. Axel would understand.
In his little scarf.
Oh, his you talking about his uniform?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. His uniform's silly.
This minute, Lizzy, did you do panel reservations? Did you like do that queue or get into anything? Okay.
I just wanted to look around, I like walking around the thing and
That's
stuff.
fair. Yeah.
I don't like waiting in line and stuff.
But
I'm
you get the
gonna see it
reservation,
later.
so you don't wait in line.
Don't-
That's that. Okay.
But you still have to wait and then sit around. I don't mind when I get the information. So I
Okay.
just like walking around in the moment.
What is your like favorite in-panel celebration moment, Lizzy?
In a panel?
Yeah.
I think it was for not the finale for Rebels. I forget which episodes it was. It was for the last season, and that's when they announced it was the last season. And they had my parents and my family and I come up on stage, and we just waved to the crowd, and then we sat.
That's okay.
Does that not count? Does that not count?
No, it counts, but it's also seriously cheating. As
Yeah,
soon
it
as
is.
It's
a little bit
is cheating.
as you started talking about it, I was just like, oh yeah, she was on the stage. Live.
Okay, if it helps, I like the part where we went down the stairs and they sat us right. I was sat right next to Sam Witwer, and I still had the hugest crush on this man. And I had my helmet
Not
on.
anymore. Not anymore. You think he's like ugly?
No, I don't think he's ugly. I just
No, we've heard it here first. Crush done.
The crush on Taylor Gray and Witwer are done. They've been done for a few years now. But yeah, I was sitting next to Sam Witwer, and I was just watching, and I was just like trying so hard not to look, especially because I had my helmet on, and I didn't want to take the helmet off either because I was embarrassed. That's my favorite.
A really weird Sam Witwer memory for me is after I was at the solo premiere. Sweet drop. I don't know if Sal was as well. I think he was. But anyway, and then we're coming out of the theater, and I saw him, and I went, "Oh my god, congratulations!" And it was just like really weird to congratulate someone coming out of a theater on being in Star Wars. It was very bizarre. But I like Sam.
He's pretty cool. He doesn't remember me. That's okay. We've met a few times.
He doesn't remember you?
No. It's all right. It's okay. I don't care.
You had a helmet on the whole time.
The other times, there was no helmet. And then, yeah. I saw him recently, and he was like, "Oh, nice to meet you. What's your name?" And I was like, I was heartbroken a little tiny bit.
It's like, you watch me on stage, all right?
Yeah, that's all right. It's okay. But that's my favorite panel moment, if that helps. Or, actually, no. This one's not cheating. It was the first Star Wars. Was it the first? It was whichever panel we saw Darth Vader come onto the screen. And Axel, being the tiny little kid he was, there was a question, like, they were asking people if we had any questions, and Axel raised his hand and was like, "How are we as an audience supposed to figure out which Darth Vader this is? Like, why is it Darth Vader dead? I thought he was dead." And then Dave Filoni was like, "You know what? I didn't think about how, I guess, kids think that we're not going back in time, and that this is just after, like, Return of the Jedi and stuff, even though it's very much not." And so he just kindly explained to Axel how this was a prequel to all those.
How's it? That is very endearing. I saw John Hoey. I think that's how you say his surname. He did that the last time like Star Wars content, like not since the sequel trilogy. Wait, what? How did he word it? He goes, the only time since 1983 that they made Star Wars like moving content that you didn't know what was going to happen afterwards was the sequel trilogy. And then everything else, you've always known what happens afterwards.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is so weird. So I can see why Axel was confused.
Yeah, he was also like 10 or something. No, maybe younger. So yeah.
What about you, Zoe? What was your favorite? What's been your favorite sort of
Well,
panel
mine's
reveal?
not quite as personal, but I don't know if it was not a
D- d- d-
reveal, but when I was in the
is
fandom,
is that your like yours is not so name droppy? Yours isn't bragging as
yeah,
much.
I'm not trying
yeah.
to brag, you asked.
Mine would be in the not a reveal, but in the Phantom Menace anniversary panel at Chicago when Ahmed Best came on stage,
Ooh.
and
Oh, yeah.
this like outpouring of love and cheers and clapping, like everything, and that was huge. I think because that was like the first time when he like reconnected with Star Wars, like before he did the Jedi Temple Challenge, before he did Mandalorian. It was like his first time like coming back into Star Wars, like in a public setting, like celebration, and so that was like really huge, I think, and that was like such an energy shift in the room. It was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Second would be Daisy Ridley coming out on stage at London.
Oh, were you in the room for that one?
Not in the celebration stage, but in the Galaxy stage.
What's it like in one of the other stages, like watching the TV?
I mean, it's fine. Like you know, I feel like most people in the celebration stage, you're so far, you can't really see much of the stage anyway. Like you're watching mostly the screen, you know. So it's kind of like that. I don't know. But before the show, they have like DJs and stuff. They like make people go up and do like trivia or like weird little games.
It's the worst.
Did you do trivia?
Oh no, I never go up.
Damn.
That's too many people.
Gotta rep that Star Wars Geek girl.
I can't stand the DJs beforehand revving people up. It's just
No, I think they're silly.
It's just like, listen, once it starts, we'll be fine. We're tired. Just let us talk. We're just going to talk to our friends. Like,
It's pretty loud in there.
Fair enough.
wow.
What about yours? You didn't say what yours was.
I would say maybe it would have to be at Celebration Orlando when the curtain came apart and John Williams was standing there.
Mm.
And then he played music. That was like, and we were like 3 rows away from John Williams. That was,
Oh, that's awesome.
that was like, that whole panel was like the best because you had like George Lucas, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Billy Lord, and you know, it was just insane. But just that capper at the end, and although the Last Jedi trailer, that was pretty sick as well. That was like people were like, I remember like the massive crowd pop when Rey was like training on the side of the mountain with her lightsaber. And, I've actually got a YouTube video of like the trailer synced up to like the audio I recorded, and yeah, it's just like the most ominous in retrospect was at Chicago when like they like Palpatine was in it at the end.
Yeah. Well,
And
I remember that
like,
one.
Like everyone was so excited. Sorry,
I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm saying I remember that one because they finished the trailer with like Palpatine's laugh, and the first time they played it, I didn't realize it was the trailer. I thought it was like someone behind me doing like a creepy laugh, and I was like, Who was that? What's so funny? Like what?" And then they played it twice. They played it again. And I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Yeah,
but
because
the first
Ian
time
McDermott
I was
came
like,
out and he said, "Play it again."
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that came on and like a lot of people were like cheering and stuff, and I was like, but I was like going, like I was shocked, but at the same time I was like, huh? That's whack. What? That it doesn't. And yeah, it sort of denoted a my feeling walking out of the film, which was with your dad actually, Lizzy.
Which panel was this again?
The Last Jedi.
Oh, gotcha.
No. The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
But I remember being really excited. It was called The Rise of Skywalker. I really wanted the film to have the word Skywalker in it. But
I hate the Skywalker drama. Can't stand it.
really,
I mean, that is Star Wars.
Well, you got Rebels. You got literally a lot
Right,
of
but
things that you don't usually.
how dare
Originally what?
Originally Star Wars. It's the
Yeah.
Skywalkers.
I don't really like it. I like the other stuff that happens. This is hard to podcast with you two, all right?
Why?
You guys are just staring at me. So judgmental. Both of you.
I'm sure there's people around the world staring judgmentally at their iPhones right now as well.
My dad says opinions are opinions.
Yes. Well, yes.
What
Mhm.
poignant advice that
Mhm.
is.
He gives a lot of good advice like that.
Yes. Move on to the next.
I was gonna say we've been on Mandalorian Grogu for a while.
We're still on the first bullet point of several. My next one, and I think this is really only for me, because correct me if I'm wrong, you guys don't really read much Star Wars.
Jesus,
Um,
the judgment of this
I'm-
entire podcast.
I'm
Well,
glad
am I
that sen-
wrong?
I'm
Am
glad
I
that-
wrong?
It's
I was
so
just-
rude, huh?
I was scared that sentence wasn't going to keep going. It was just going to be, you two don't read.
No, no. I mean, Steele, do you read a lot of Star Wars books?
None.
Yeah. So it wasn't a judgmental statement. It was a statement.
Yeah,
You guys don't read much
It was
Star
said
Wars.
in a judgmental tone.
I think you're reading that into it.
I quit.
am.
I quit because they
That's
don't.
the only thing I read.
Because they don't tell the truth.
What?
The book, you don't tell the truth.
No, the books.
The books don't tell the truth.
But they just get overridden by like the movies, so it's like they don't tell the truth.
Not often.
A little bit.
I feel
'Cause
like
I was like when they wiped
that's
it
not
all.
the reason I don't read.
When they wiped it all, like the EU, and they said it's all going to be this big continuity, and then like Poe meets Rey like 2 different times. It's just like you're killing me.
Yeah. Maybe they just forgot, you know? It was a crazy couple days, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I mean, I have to
Maybe
meet
they
and re-meet.
forgot.
I have to meet and re-meet so many people, and I
It's
have
like
way less
Sam.
going
It's
on.
like Sam Witwer and Lizzy.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
I have way less going on in my life than Ray and Poe did in that span of what, like a week, 2 weeks that The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi occur within.
Oh, that's
So, like,
amazing.
They can forget.
Actually,
That is very good.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures does the exact same thing. Like in the manga, it's a little more. Well, the show is more different than the manga. Manga came out first because the director was directing it and like doing all of it, and then halfway through, he was like, "What happens in the other seasons? I don't know. Let's just change it. Let's just change it. I want to do something new." So like some of the characters' genders were like changed, some of their names and like
Oh, that's always controversial.
episodes. There was a bunch of random stuff that happened that was like
In what
Anyway.
show is this?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Oh, okay.
It's an anime. I don't think you would like it.
Actually, we have a podcast where Axel explains the plot of that show to Sal and I.
Oh.
And it's
I
just the
still
first
don't
season.
understand it,
Yeah.
to be honest.
There's like 6 seasons.
Anyway, books.
Yeah,
Books.
books.
Ew.
So
Stinky. I only read the really edgy ones, okay?
okay. Well, so the High Republic publishing project is finishing. I believe this July is when the last book comes out. That's already announced. We also have a couple Acolyte tie-in books coming within the next couple of months, and a Bad Batch book coming out.
I was gonna
in
say,
August.
I would read the Bad Batch book. That I would read.
Yeah.
Any of the other ones sound
What? Really?
Okay.
What more do we need to know about the Bad Batch?
anything, every single detail of the Bad Batch. I want to know what they're thinking. I want to know what it feels like to take a step.
Yes, this is what annoys me. It's like bring out the book in between the seasons. Like once it's all finished, it's just like don't do a little story like going back. Like no wonder Axel's confused or baby Axel.
Poor Axel.
So anyway, those are the books currently announced. 2 new High Republic books, which will finish the project. 2 Acolyte tie-in books, both of which are prequels to the show, obviously because a lot of people die in that show. And then the Bad Batch book. So I'm curious to see if we get any other book announcements. Because that's all we have right now. I don't really have much speculation. I have what I would like to read, but I feel like I can never predict what books are going to come out. They're just going to be like, we're going to release a book about this guy.
Can
And
I
then it'll
ask?
be like,
How do you how will you be satisfied with the? So you read all the High Republic books so far.
yeah.
So what do you like? How do you want closure out of this series of books? And then because I assume that story will be closed then.
Yeah, so they have a couple kind of plot threads running through the High Republic that all tie together. So they have the Nile, led by Markion Ro. So he's they're basically pirates. And they've taken over half the galaxy. They've used this technology to partition it off so you can't even get over there. And so obviously, because we get to 200 years later, we know that partition is no longer there. So taking that down.
So it's 200 years later now.
So the High Republic is so High Republic Phase 1 is 200 years before Phantom Menace.
Got you. And then it went back in time.
Yes, so Phase 2 was 100 years before that. And then Phase 3 went back to that 200-year point. And then I'm saying 200 years later, as in we know in the Phantom Menace, the galaxy's no longer cut in half. That's what I was saying. So seeing that, there's also the Nameless, which are levelers, which are creatures that specifically kill Jedi and Force-sensitive people by being attracted to the Force kind of essence and like basically sucking the life out of them and turning them into ashes.
That's
so they're a problem. It's pretty gnarly.
But how did this Nameless not keep going?
Well, so that's what the last book presumably would
see that
tell us.
That story point seems a bit much for me. Like,
sounds pretty cool, actually.
It's something where if I feel like it's something where if someone told me about it, like if someone was like, oh yeah, like because I haven't really read almost any of the EU stuff, so if someone's like, oh yeah, in the old EU there are these creatures that like suck the Force out of a Jedi, I'd be like, that's lame. But I do think it's done pretty well in these books, like when you actually read them, where you they kind of build up to them, and it's like they don't really know what's happening. They just know there's these creatures that can like turn Jedi into ashes, and they kind of learn a little bit about them. And it's they're still tied into the Force and the dark side of the Force. They're not like the old EU had creatures that were like, this creature doesn't exist in the Force. It's like that's not really what the Force is.
Do you guys know what a Yusamalari is?
Yeah, the little guys that hung out with Thrawn. The lizards.
You make it sound so cute.
The lizards.
because I thought they were pretty whack, even when I was like reading about it, like
Yeah.
back then.
And I don't think the Nameless don't really give me that. I think like when I actually read
So
the book,
how do
I
they
understand
turn
that
them-
reaction.
See, I've never heard about this dust thing before,
Okay.
and so how do they turn them to dust? I'm getting
So essentially,
quite agitated.
Yeah, so what happens is, so the Nameless, it's like, I wonder if I can find a picture of it to send you. But the Nameless,
I know what dust looks like.
well, yes. So the Nameless are these creatures, and they have these like scary, like tentacle mouth kind of things. And what they do is they're essentially like they're almost like they're eating the Jedi. Like they're an animal eating the Jedi, but they're eating the Force. They consume the life and the power of the Force. And when they're consuming that, and they're really only attracted to people who are Force sensitive because they can sense it the strongest and find it in there.
I was gonna say I thought
So they kinda-
everyone had the Force.
Right. So they
it's people with
hypothetically
way
are a threat
more.
to everybody, but they're really only attracted to people they can really sense that in.
Got it.
And so they're like kind of sucking that life out of them,
So
and
that
that's why they
sounds
crumble.
cool.
So it's not like they're sucking the Force out of them and they're just like a person who doesn't have Force powers now. It's like by nature of the life and Force being taken from them, they die and they crumble into like dust and ash.
That sounds terrible.
It's pretty gnarly. I think one of the books called
Oh wow! Zoe just sent me a photo of it. It's
Of the
That's the one
dust?
we do. Of the Nameless.
Oh, got it.
The Nameless or the Leveler or Shri Rai. They also go by. They're pretty scary.
It does
but-
not look like anything from Star Wars.
I don't know about that.
Well,
I think
I'm
they
gonna
look like some of
view
the
it on my
animated
mobile
stuff.
phone.
From your mobile phone.
It won't let me show it on my computer.
I'm becoming more in favor of burning books. I might move to Florida.
Wait a minute.
But in the book, like The Fallen Star, which I think is one of my favorite High Republic books, they're on this like space station, and the space station is attacked by the Nile, so it's like falling down and like burning up and being destroyed. But also there's a bunch of Nameless loose on it. So like these Jedi are like walking around trying to like investigate, but then they'll get like hunted down, and then like another Jedi will find them, but they're just like a husk of ash and stone. When they touch them, it crumbles away.
Okay. Why don't they give them a name?
Well, they're called the Leveler or Shri Rai, and they also call them the Nameless. So they're the Nameless, but they have like 3 names.
So they should call them the Tri-Name.
Maybe. But yeah, so there's them, and then there's also this thing called the Blight that's come up recently, where it infects a planet, and the planet starts to like turn into gray and ash and like crumble away. And so they've been working on that. They haven't really figured what to do about that yet. But that Blight is on Coruscant. It's in like the lower levels of Coruscant in one of the recent books, and they discovered that. So now they really got to figure out what to do, because before it was like planets that like weren't as inhabited, so they could like evacuate people and get them out. Like you can't evacuate Coruscant, so they got to figure out how to fix it. But they think the Blight is related to the same like kind of Force like life consuming thing that the Nameless do, because the Jedi are able to hold the Blight back with the Force. If they sit there and like meditate really hard and like focus on it, they can hold the Blight back from spreading.
Okay, but does this seem like these two concepts sound like anything else in Star Wars, like that you like watch on Disney Plus at all? It just sounds like a total different universe.
I kind of have to watch every Star Wars piece of media, so yes. But it also sounds cool, so I would like want to watch it when it came out that day.
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
You said if it was on a streaming service, if it was like a show.
No. I said, does it sound like a concept? Like
does it sound like what else you see?
Like
in Star Wars.
Like
it's no, but it's something I would want to see.
I
feel
enjoy
like
it.
that counts. It doesn't matter if it's connected to everything else. Like something cool can jump from that. Like Andor, I think is really, really cool. You know?
Yeah, well,
All right. Well,
I agree with that. But like Andor does not seem like the same place where
there's literally police brutality, but like just cut and clean police brutality.
yeah, but there's not this like weird planet cancer thing that's like it just seems like a total
I mean, certain Clone Wars episodes can be similar to these
Yeah.
because
Clone
Clone
Wars
Wars
has some
is
stuff
so
kind of like
wide and has such variety to it. Like it could be
Hmm.
Star
Alright.
Wars that has infinite universes and galaxies.
All right. Well, when they announce the last book in this series, can you just clap a little bit for me? But for
Well,
like,
it's already
ironic
announced.
reasons.
It's
Okay.
already announced. Oh,
For
it's called,
Steele.
it's called
Make it-
Trials
make-
of the Jedi.
Make it stop.
All right, you know what
Um,
game I feel like Steele would hate is Final Fantasy, because each one is not the Final Fantasy.
We're on the second bullet point of like 6, you guys.
Don't get me started about the never-ending story. Let me tell you that.
It's never ending.
Um,
Lucas
yeah.
animation. I like
I-
animation. Animation is my jam. You know what's animation? Rebels, Clone Wars, all of it. High Republic. I don't know
Yeah.
what we're talking about, but animation.
So there's gonna be Lucasfilm animation panel. It's celebrating I think 25 years of Lucasfilm animation.
I've joined
And
the
they-
same white stormtrooper. Sorry.
And
But why don't they do an animation of the like while they're doing this High Republic? Why is there not like an animation of the High Republic?
well, there is. It's called Young Jedi Adventures.
Oh God.
Well, there is. It is a High Republic animated
All right,
series.
good. Fine.
The Young Jedi Adventures and Nile
You
are
don't
in
watch
it.
it with Harry?
Yeah, he watched it for a little bit and then he was saying, yeah.
Hmm.
He's watching at the moment Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, which I believe is on Netflix.
I'm just saying, you have a nubs that eats coins. It's from High Republic. From High Republic.
So Lucasfilm Animation, they said they're also going to tease future stuff to come. Now they did announce yesterday Tales of the Underworld, which is a new installment in the Tales of series, starring this one will be about Cad Bane and Ventress. They announced that yesterday, so it leaves me a bit curious about what they're saving for Celebration to announce there. I know people have speculated about a Clone Rebellion show building off of the Bad Batch, and people have speculated about a Hidden Path show building off of Voss and Ventress. Personally, I would like.
So the Clone Rebellion. Did you say Clone Rebellion?
Yes,
In what era would that take place?
that would be after the Bad Batch.
Oh, okay.
So it would basically bridge the gap for Rex, Wolf, and Gregor between the Bad Batch and Rebels. Also potentially following up on Cody's story from the Bad Batch. And then Echo also left to join Rex for most of that second part of that series as well.
From what I've heard, that something along those lines is true.
So there's that, and then potentially, and people talk about Hidden Path with Ventress and Voss being a thing. Personally, I would like to see another animated series set during the sequel trilogy, like Resistance, even if not a continuation of Resistance. But
Something after Star Wars or A New Hope.
yeah. But I am very much looking forward to whatever they do announce. The animation panel and seeing what they have in store. I'm sure no matter what it is, D. Bradley Baker will be very employed.
He will be making lots of money.
I would
Which
like to
I
I would like to see something where he's not hired. Not and it's not like a smite on him, but just enough with the clones, bro.
Well, he doesn't have to be a clone. He voices Nubs.
The coin-eating guy.
I was actually just picturing him with all this money in his tummy.
Yeah, that guy's having everything.
He's also Perry the Platypus, which I think Phineas and Ferb is getting revived. So
He's a
that means
platypus.
he is Perry the Platypus in Phineas and Ferb.
That's one of Australia's great creatures.
Yeah, he's blue.
I got a platypus for my birthday. Like, not a real one. Like, a teddy bear one. I never, I don't know.
You gotta watch Phineas and Ferb so
like
he can
him.
learn his platypus culture.
Oh, he's
And know his
kind of
song.
brown. What if he gets self-conscious?
Perry the Platypus.
He'll never be able to be blue.
He doesn't have to be blue. And actually, if a platypus is held under like a certain UV light or something like that, they do look teal like
But
Perry.
I can't afford that for him.
The knowledge will have to be enough.
Damn. All right. You like platypuses, Steele?
Oh, I'm a huge fan.
Oh. Do you know they're poisonous?
Yeah, on their little tail or something.
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
think that's venomous.
Venomous. Venom.
Because it's
Venom is a
poison.
poison.
It's poison if you eat it. It's venom if it like touches you or bites you or something. I think that's how it works.
Hmm.
Wow.
It's all the books she reads. Am I right?
It's all those Star Wars books and comics. I've been catching up on Star Wars comics. I'm only 7 years behind.
7 years.
I'm reading Lando Double or Nothing right
my
now.
dad,
Came
my
out
dad's hurting
2018.
right now. I have the whole Afro comic books, all of them, every single one of them, right next to me.
Have you
I
read
still need
them?
to read. I've read a third.
Okay.
A third? Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, that's the animation panel. Any other speculation about or hopes for animation?
All of it. I hope everything gets animated. New
Yeah.
Mando and Grogu is actually gonna be animated, guys.
I would love to see, and I know this is controversial, maybe not here, but just generally, I would like to see other animation styles. I feel like that's part of the beauty of animation is that it can all look different.
I mean, yeah, like Rebels and Resistance and Clone
Rebels and
Wars.
Resistance had very like distinct styles, and I feel like Clone Wars, Bad Batch, and the Tales of have all had. I mean, and granted, Tales of style has evolved since like early seasons of Clone Wars, but I think something fresh could be fun. Not that I don't like the Clone Wars style, but
I don't mind like the Tales of where it's at now, but I would just like to see some animation. Yeah, post A New Hope.
yeah.
I don't know what Resistance was, but it was very adjacent to what. Like, I want to see some characters I know.
Maybe Tales of the Underworld, kind of. Is that what we're talking about, or like?
Well, Tales of the Underworld seems to be very much post Revenge of the Sith, and even pre Revenge of the Sith in the case of.
Oh.
Well, because it's
I
not
guess-
post A New Hope. Probably, because it's probably Venture's like coming back to life, and then we might see her post A New Hope and what else she
Maybe.
did.
I don't know. I don't really know how close or far, but it seemed like ish. I don't know.
Well, because the Cad Bane was clearly when he was younger, because he doesn't have his breathing tube
you're
yet.
right,
So that
you're
would be
right.
before, I think, before even Phantom Menace, because
Oh yeah.
there's comics where he appears before Phantom Menace and he has the tubes. And then, Ventress died in Dark Disciple, which is during the Clone Wars. So presumably we'll see her come back to life. And then she has this young kid, and there's an Inquisitor, so that places it before Rebels.
Yeah. I didn't do the math. I just was like, it's around there somewhere.
After A New Hope?
So
I don't know.
So you don't read or do math? Is that what
No.
you're saying?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm horrible at math. Horrible. God awful.
How many Star Wars books have you read this year minus how many Star Wars books you read last year?
Are you talking to me? Because 0. Zoe?
I don't know how many I read. I read a lot because there's a solid couple months where I was reading a Star Wars book a week. 'Cause I had to catch up.
I'm 0 as well, so we're better than math than you. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
I have to go back through my book reviews and see how many I read last year.
I haven't read any last year yet. Last year, I think I read. No, the Afros don't really count. So then whatever. What was it? What was the last book I read? It was, what's it called?
Rise of
With
the
Its
Red
Cat.
Blade.
Yes, Rise of the Red Blade. That's the last book I read. Listened to, and then I read it because I was like, "This is cool," and then I read it.
I think the last one I listened to was a High Republic one, and then I was just like, eh.
You heard vampires, and you were like, "Eh."
Yeah. I'm so, like, after you told me those 2 plot points, like,
I probably didn't explain them right because they're really cool in the book.
God, you gotta do them justice.
I think you
Zoe.
explained them just fine.
They're really cool.
Just don't.
My mom says they're cool.
Just be careful when you say that around my dad, okay? Zoe's nice, but Dad might. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think your dad's used to me saying such things.
I think so.
Ahsoka. There's an Ahsoka panel at Celebration. It's 30 minutes after our panel.
You gotta run.
Oh, well, there's also Andor, but we know what we're going to see there. We're going to see it. They're going to talk about season 2, which comes out that week.
It's the last one too, yeah.
It is the last one.
It's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I'm pretty sure that either they'll show an episode then, or you'll get a ticket to see one.
Like they did for Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but someone said that the time allotted for it is quite big, so they might show it.
Well, it's only an hour, I think. It's the normal panel time.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe there was like the next panel afterwards doesn't start for quite a while or something. So
maybe.
But you'd have to think that they're going to show. I actually just found out at Lizzy's party actually that they're premiering it like just before Celebration in LA.
Yeah, they're doing like a red carpet.
Yeah,
I heard about this as
but
well.
I like.
Mm-hmm.
I just expect it to be so good, but I'm a little bit heartbroken that they're showing it all at once.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wish it was would go a little longer.
Which,
I just remember how fun it was, like each week speculating on all the little cliffhangers and everything. And so it'll be a bit of a bummer we don't get to do that for as long this time.
I think I might do it anyway. I don't know, like especially because it's like what 2 episodes a year,
3
or 3 episodes a year. I think I'm just gonna watch the 3 in like 1 week and then another week. I don't know. It's not gonna be exactly the same, but just enough where I don't feel like I have to just watch it all.
Yeah, and it is
until we figure out the only time we can podcast is the day after, and then we then you have to do it all.
It is the type of show that you like. You're not going to find out spoilers online because the actual plot developments are meaningful and not just like, oh my god, it's a character appearing. Like that was like with like the Mandalorian. That was like the next day spoilers was like Boba Fett's in it, but I feel like with Andor, it's like an image can't spoil.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So it is possible, but yeah, I just don't want to be like, I just don't like I'm getting put into that position.
Yeah, I just remember like how fun it was discussing it for a whole week each episode.
Yeah, that's the best bit.
Kind of like that was so much fun, And so we'll still have that a little bit, but not quite as much.
No,
For
but
not
we
quite so
won't
long.
because it's like that era will be wrapped up in one night.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like a year.
Hmm.
So like there's not going to be any like dangling plot threads at the end of that year to the next year. I can't imagine. Whereas in between each episode in that year, there will be dangling plot threads.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like I'm gonna just watch them all at once. But
Yeah.
I
So,
feel like I kind of wonder about that because again, it was just nice having it a week at a time, and I'm just kind of curious because a lot of people that watch shows nowadays, like normal shows, not Star Wars shows, they always want to binge watch it. And my mom especially, so she's I don't know, but I imagine she's a little excited about these news.
yeah, I'm sure
But
for some
like,
people they're very happy. I'm
well,
not a
that's
binge watcher. So I'm like, man.
no, I know. And I'm curious because a lot of people liked Andor, and we talked about this before with the trailer. A lot of people liked Andor, like normal people. And yeah, sorry, normal people, okay, I don't know. And I don't know, they just like with the new trailer that's not very Star Wars trailer I wonder if maybe it's like slightly catering to all people where people like shows that they can binge watch. I don't know. I'm not saying anything bad. I was just theorizing, but that's all.
yeah, I think the trailers are very much edited for a for the unconverted, because that first one had the music, which I quite liked. Like, it was a lot up tempo. And then this second one had a lot of action in it, which is, not what Andor's known for, but it had a lot of sort of actiony scenes. So it feels like they're sort of trying to sizzle it to the non-Andor fan, which is fine. But that doesn't mean you have to show it all in a month. We could be enjoying it for 3 months. 3 sweet months. And now I'm just like under pressure to watch it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh no.
Oh, she's gone again.
No. It didn't die this time. It just is
Unbelievable.
being stupid. There we go. I'm not touching it again.
But with the Ahsoka panel, are they
What?
They haven't started filming Ahsoka, so
They did potentially. I think they started filming last week or 2 weeks ago. I think because the Imanis Fandi was posting on Instagram, being like "Hello Ahsoka" or something like that.
Ah.
So I think they very much just started. So yeah, because I listed this one because it's the description of the panel says a review of season 1 of Ahsoka. But with them having recently filmed, I think also it was not Celebration London, but Celebration Anaheim. They had like a Mandalorian panel, and that was also like right after they were filming, right after they filmed, started filming Ahsoka season 1, and they showed like a reel from Ahsoka season 1 there.
Yeah.
And they also, and the main reason I put this one here with the announcements is because this is the only afternoon panel that they did lotteries for.
Okay.
All the other panel lotteries were just for the morning panel. This one is the only afternoon one that had a panel lottery. So that's why I put it as a potential. We might see like a reel or something. Obviously not much. If they did just start filming, you're not going to see,
Well, I
much.
feel like if they've started filming, they've got to show something. Like at least photos or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to end the you got to end on like some sort of little thing. I once went to a Rebels. I don't know what was it. It was a 10-year anniversary or something, or 50. I don't know what it was. Not Rebels, the Clone Wars. What I can't remember how long ago, how long it was meant to be, like the anniversary, but it was celebrating 10 or 15 years at Comic Con, and at the end of it, they announced a new season and they showed a little
Yeah.
clip, and somehow Corey was right, which was very disturbing. But yeah, I think you'll see like at least photos from the set.
Yeah. So I'm curious. Like I said, I doubt we'll see much,
Yeah.
just because they are so early on in it.
Mm-hmm.
But did you just delete me? But
my camera says it's too hot.
too hot.
Yeah.
How dare you?
She turned off and was like, warning, your phone is too hot for the camera.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know why.
Interesting.
I feel like my camera's insulting me now. Not hot enough.
So yeah, set that panel. I just put it on there because but we also have Lucasfilm Games, so they're doing a panel with Respawn Entertainment and Bit Reactor. So Bit Reactor is offering first look at a new turn-based tactic Star Wars game.
What does that mean?
So it's a game where you presumably you have your own little guys, your little characters, and then it's combat, but it sort of like works like a board game where you take your turn. It's not like a Mortal Kombat where you're like mashing buttons trying to hit each other.
Oh, okay.
Game. It's like strategic. So those aren't always don't really go for turn-based games all the time. So I don't know much about those or what that might look like. But Respawn Entertainment being invited is interesting because they're the company behind the Jedi games, Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. We know they're working on a third game in the trilogy. So Respawn Entertainment being there means we might see something about that. I'm not sure. I don't know as much about video game production as I do film production. So I'm not sure how long or like where they would be in that process. Mm-hmm. If they would have anything to show or not, or what, if they discuss it at all. But that's there. And then just Lucasfilm Games, who knows what else they could have.
When I started playing Hunters, and now it's leaving.
It's not leaving till October.
That's so long. That's so... Wait a minute. That's so short.
What is it? What do you mean it's leaving?
It's
so
gonna
Star
go
Wars
bye-bye.
Hunters is their live service game. They announced just like 2 weeks ago or a week ago that they're starting October, like I think 1st or something. They will no longer be providing support. You won't be able to play the game anymore. The final update for the game comes out I think right before Celebration.
Which I have a question about that. So have they said anything about the skins like people have bought and like passes?
No, I don't think you're getting your money back. Yeah, I think it goes away.
Wait.
That's kind of weird to me.
But how did you start playing the game? Is it free to play?
Yeah, it's free to play.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm so old school. It's just like, what? So your cartridge just doesn't work anymore?
No, so it's free and it's all online. The game is all online, playing against other players.
Harry doesn't play Fortnite at all?
Yeah. But like...
Well, that's what it is, pretty much.
Okay. Well, if you bought a skin, that's on you. You're an idiot. You got ripped off.
Yeah, I mean, and also, I think if you bought a skin and paid your money, the thing with these live service games, it's probably in the terms and conditions, you bought this game for the duration that the game exists. So if the duration that the game exists ends in October...
It's so weird that you buy someone's skin, like a digital Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got their skin. I bought Ray's skin. Ugh. What's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
I have a lot on Fortnite. I'm like...
Oh, you got a lot of skin?
Oh, yeah. I got everyone's skin possible.
Which the next fortnight, this isn't
your
a celebration,
house
but the next
your
fortnight
house
season
must
will be
stink.
Star Wars themed.
No, I put a bunch of chemicals. Even though I'm really bad at math, I'm definitely really good at science, and I put a bunch of chemicals on the skin. I have so many. I'm in debt. But now I look gorgeous wherever I go.
Gross.
You're
But good for you.
welcome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyway.
So yeah, I don't know. I think we have potential to see some the last of the Jedi trilogy game at this panel. That's about all I got for Lucasfilm Games. I would love to see also maybe news about the Outlaws DLC. We know there's an Outlaws DLC featuring Hondo
Okay.
coming out, and it's listed as spring, and they still don't have a release date for it yet, and it is April. So
okay. So, great game. Amazing game. Love it. Looks
Outlaws,
gorgeous.
you haven't played it.
Okay. Anyway, Outlaws. Hold on. Okay.
I'm just saying.
You guys, your comic timing together is amazing.
Dude, so many years of doing this. It just happens.
Oh, you're offering your opinion on a game you haven't played.
No. Hear me out first, okay? I'm not trying to say anything bad,
Passionate
okay?
opinion, like
I'm trying to
like,
say. She's interrupting. Hold on. It's nothing bad about it. Good game. Amazing. Great. Love it. I need it to stop having DLCs because my father refuses to play any other game possible.
This is okay.
The family has bought him so many new games that he has not picked up for years because he's been playing however long, not actual years, but however long this has been out. He has not picked up another game since.
For the record, Outlaws came out in August.
Yeah.
And
years. It feels like years now.
And only one DLC has come out, and there's a second one coming out to be known.
He hasn't even finished the game. He hasn't finished 100%ing the game. He still needs to 100% the DLC.
Okay. This kind of seems like your fault. You know this man, and you bought him another game when there's a Star Wars game that came out.
I thought you meant like I bought him the game. No,
I'm saying you know that man. Why did you buy him another game when there's a Star Wars game?
I had hope. Because he put it in his own Amazon wish cart. Anyway, I love it. Looks amazing. Please.
When the game came out, they announced two DLCs. That's all it's coming out.
It's been years.
Oh my lord.
Anyway, I hope it gets many more DLCs. It looks really cool. I like Nick's outfits. Dad lets me pick out an outfit when he streams.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yes, that's Lucasfilm Games panel. Potential news from Respawn about Jedi 3 and maybe a release date for Outlaws DLC, Pirate's Price, featuring Hondo. Want to hang out with Hondo. So yeah, and then our final news / announcement panel is Sunday morning in Japan. Visions Volume 3.
This I do know. I know this. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so typically for Visions, they seem to have shown an episode at these panels. So I'm curious if they'll show one here. But we'll get to see probably a trailer for it, because we don't have trailers, and we'll probably get to know, because we know the studios that are involved, but usually they
oh my god, which I'm so excited for. Sorry.
Is it confirmed or not confirmed or speculated that any of the stories from season 1 will be continued?
I think it's speculated because some of the same studios from season 1 are returning, but they haven't said if they're continuing any of the season 1 stories, if the studios are making new stories. But so I wonder if, because typically they'll announce like what each of the studios are doing, like the title and a short synopsis, and usually like, a couple cast members as well. So we will, I think, especially because Vision's supposed to come out this year, I think we'll likely see that, and maybe a trailer at Vision's Volume 3.
Did you see that the Hasbro exclusive figure or figures is from Visions?
Yeah, from Volume 1.
Yeah, look pretty sick.
The Ronin. That's a good book. It's not canon Ronin, but it's a good book. It's all about the Ronin series.
What? A book? I thought it was
So
a
there's
cartoon.
Well, it's a cartoon, the Ronin. There's the short, the cartoon, and then there's a book, set in the world of that cartoon. Because that's not like regular Star Wars universe. It's like an alternate Star Wars universe that's really based in like Japanese mythology and
But the
history.
figures are from the cartoon, aren't they?
Yeah, the figures from the cartoon, but the book is about the cartoon. Essentially.
Wait.
Well, it reminds me of like there's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Masters of the Universe, right?
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
And they made up a whole, like, it's not just like mashup figures. They made up a whole world of like a universe, which is very interesting.
I touched on that when I was little. What were we talking about? Visions? There was something I was going to say and it's gone. Oh no. I'm excited for Visions. All of them have been so good, and like, I don't have any actual good feedback to give. I just like animation so much, and Visions was so gorgeous because it was like all the different studios and such that I'm excited for the new ones, and I'm excited for the ones to come back. And I honestly hope that they continue those episodes. If that's what it's intended for, of them coming back, I don't know, or maybe just creating something different.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, the only one I'd really, really want to see continued is the Ninth Jedi, because I'm just really fascinated by that version of Star Wars they have there. The other ones I think work very well as contained stories, where it's like, sure, continue it if you want to, but I would be happy to get just as happy to get something new. The Ninth Jedi is the only one where I'm like, I want more of this. I want a continuation here.
That's what I was gonna say. Ronin. So you said it's like supposed to be like just mythology?
Does that
mean is it gonna be like myth? Oh, okay. Because I was I thought it was maybe like in the main world. They can read this and it's fake.
No, it's a like alternate version of Star. I mean, you can see it that way if you wanted to. It's meant to be like a different retelling of Star Wars with different kind of cultural ideas taken in mind.
It's all EU, like all non-canon.
Yeah. So like with the Ronin novel, it's like very much like instead of the Jedi being like this like religious group, it's more like the Jedi function the way that like the old samurai did, where they're all controlled by like you have like someone who the Jedi is, like basically just someone who works for like a feudal lord who like has like this control over a certain like plot of land, and like the Jedi enforces their will, versus like this like kind of Knights of the Round Table kind of idea that the Jedi tend to be in the regular Star Wars galaxy.
Imagine Star Wars was just about Jedis defending plots of land.
I mean, don't they?
That's why. No. Okay. No. No. Read the book.
So you got to poke the bear a little bit.
I've noticed.
I'm not getting into this. No, but so that's why the book is more from the perspective of the Sith. Like instead of the Sith being like essentially fascist like they are in the regular, like the Sith are more like the underdogs and the rebels in this version.
I really I wouldn't want it or not that I wouldn't want it continued. If it was, that's amazing. But like it wouldn't be one that I would want to continue, but the one with like the dancer and she's a spy, but she like
Oh
spies on
yeah.
people. That one was just I like that art style a lot. I think it's the one that sticks out to me the most sometimes when I think of
I mean,
Vision.
I don't think that studio is coming back. For
No, not at all. I was just like thinking of like little stories that could continue or that might continue. I don't know. That one was cute, and I like the style. So even if they do like a whole different story in that style, it's vice versa. I don't know.
Mhm.
Cute, cool.
Yeah, I think these are all because like how season 1 was all different like anime studios. This one's back to anime studios.
Mm-hmm.
Versus season 2 that was like a mix around the world, but we're back to all anime.
Got it.
This one.
I think that's all, right?
Those are all the big panels. We got very off the rails sometimes.
But there's one other big panel, isn't there?
Well, there is the Star Wars Geek Girl panel
Exactly.
at 11:30 on the HoloNet News stage.
What are you guys going to be talking about?
So when we talk about, we'll probably end up at least a little bit talking about whatever news has come out at that point on Saturday, because that'll be post Mando, post publishing and animation, and post Andor panel.
Mm-hmm.
But also just I think the thesis of it is going to be more like growing up within Star Wars and costuming and that side of it all.
Thesis, because she read books.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done. Promise.
I love it. This is great. Great dynamic.
Yeah.
Hey, Lizzy, so we're on
Yes.
the way to your birthday the other day.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
have you ever been in Zoe's car before?
I have. It's quite comfy.
It's like it's a lot of Star Wars references in it, right?
Yeah.
Like all the knobs and dials have got little Alliance or Starbird or whatever those things are, and there's like a Ahsoka, and then you put your seatbelt on and it's a Porg. And
yeah.
Like it's.
I like the chopper stuff.
Like there's a lot of Star Wars going on. It's
Mm-hmm. An astronomical amount, or
yeah.
Okay.
Like there's a lot, right?
Right.
But it's very fun to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about the George Lucas Museum, right?
Okay.
And Zoe announces to me.
I was here for this, yeah.
Well, she drives her very Star Warsy car. She says, "Oh yeah, I think I'm going to go to that." And we're just on the freeway, and I'm just like, "Oh, are you? Are you? Are you, girl, with entire car covered in Star Wars stuff, and you just got back from dressing as a Star Wars character at a Star Wars event, and now you're driving to your friend who you met doing a Star Wars podcast? Are you going to go to the Star Wars Museum? That's thank you for this like brave admission." So yeah, that was pretty funny in the car. And then we just sat in silence for like 45 minutes.
I mean, I think she likes Star Wars a lot.
It's almost as though she's a Star Wars geek girl.
Whoa. That's... I don't know. You're taking it a little too far.
Any comments, Zoe?
Lizzy, I think we should tell Steele our original plan for the podcast that fell through due to scheduling.
Axel works late nights, dude.
So originally, when we were first planning this podcast, this was going to be an April Fool's episode, and we were going to surprise you. So Lizzy and I would get on, and while that intro was playing, I would turn off Lizzy and I. So when the intro ended, it would be you, and then Axel and Safi, the younger Star Wars siblings.
Ah.
And they would have a set of strange questions and topics to grill you with and explain anime to you. And that would be the show. but it fell through due to scheduling conflicts because I gave up. I
I mean, at that point, it was so ruthless. It was like Zoe texting me, like, "Can Axel work this day or podcast this day?" And I had to text him. I was like, "Axel, can you?" And he would send me like a meme. And I'd be like, "Okay." And then it'd be the next day. I'd be like, "Axel, can you?" And he's like, "When?" I'm like, "I just texted it to you." Yeah, sure.
And then we'd get one, and then you couldn't do it, and then we get one, and then my sister couldn't do it, and then it was like the last one where Axel couldn't do it, and I was like, I give up.
So as it turns out, you two are the April Fools.
Yes, indeed.
That is. This is
April Fool.
This is better
April
than
Fool.
finding it. This is better than finding out that iCal tip. I'm so delighted.
You've been blessed
that
with
that
the April
It
Fool.
backfired. Why are you guys so mean?
Mean.
Oh.
But now we have to do this one again and learn about iCal.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Zoe, you should just actually start what's it called? Podcast teaching. Here's how to
Podcast
use your phone a
teaching.
certain way. Or how you oh my gosh. Zoe's very smart, very creative. She helped you with your phone. She helped me do a budgeting thing for when I go to Japan. I'll probably try to use it for everyday life, but I'm mostly using it for Japan, and I'm getting to see every little bit in cost and how much I would have left and all that math stuff. It's great. It's amazing.
It's a spreadsheet,
Yeah.
is what it is.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. Pretty great.
I think you're selling it more than than it is, but
It works.
I
It's
tell you-
amazing. I don't know how to do it. Boom.
I tell you who could use your help is my friend Josh Chapman, who was on the podcast the other night, and he had messed up the Japanese, like the yen conversion to Australia by like he had a decimal point wrong. And he's like going, this Tamagotchi, it's only 150. No, it's only $15. What I'm getting one. What a bargain. And it's like 150 Australian dollars. Like,
goodness.
he's had to rethink his entire budget.
Oh.
Oh no.
But it was like $100 American for a Tamagotchi. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Oh
That's
yeah. Those
ridiculous.
are expensive. I mean, there's like the knockoff ones, but some of them are really bad. There's Evangelion ones. I want one.
Yeah, but like you can get a Tamagotchi that's not Star Wars Celebration exclusive for like, you can probably get one for like $10. But this was a gold Tamagotchi.
Oh. My
And
mom
one
had an R2 one time.
Yeah, I feel like I had an
It died.
R2D2 one. Like one of them
Yeah,
is
I think the R2 one's like $15.
Yeah. I was just saying she has one.
one of the limited edition ones was like Darth Vader. And it's just like, yeah, let him starve.
What?
Do you know what I mean?
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's probably
Like Grogu, feed him. But Darth Vader,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how's he even eat food?
I don't think I want to know.
Probably takes the helmet off.
Exactly. Is there any like little exclusive things that you guys are like, oh, I got to get that?
Not really. Nothing's actually super caught my eye. I mean, there's some
know
stuff
what?
where I'm like, oh, that's really cute. But with with the way some of those like exclusive go, it's like I'm not gonna wait in line for 2.5 hours to like
You know what I would wait in line
get a
for?
chance. What?
The Star Wars Geek girl. Pokemon cards.
Oh, you got to get
Yeah.
one of those Pokemon cards, by the way.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have. Oh yeah, I have my Pokemon card of Star Wars Geek Girl of me. We have new Star Wars Geek Girl cards. So we have, if anyone's run into us or my dad at a con or anything, you might have gotten a Star Wars Geek Girl card. That looks like the old action figure boxes, but it's us on the pictures. We have updated ones with more recent photos. Well, more recent photos of me. We didn't have many more recent photos of you in your
Nuh-uh.
Sabine. But they're different photos of you. They're not the same ones as the last card.
Maybe a year later.
Maybe like a year. So we have those. We also have, this is an impulse purchase, but I'm in possession of 200 Star Wars Geek Girl temporary tattoos of the little Star Wars Geek Girl logo. So we'll have those as well. And then if you run into me on Friday, because I'm planning on going to a lot of the panels on Friday.
Say, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yes, you run into me, say excuse me. But I will also I will be dressed as a member of the Path of the Open Hand, which is a cult from the High Republic Phase 2. And I will have some gifts freely given or friendship bracelets that I made to give out. That makes sense if you read the books.
What day will you be dressed as a member of the unnamed?
The Nameless aren't a cult.
The Nameless. Sorry.
They're creatures that the cult controls, and then later they get controlled because the cult transforms into like the essentially pirate gang, the Nile, and then they control the Nameless using the Rod of Seasons.
Ooh, like in Legend of Zelda.
Sure.
See, there's Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons, and then there's Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages.
Is there a Rod of Seasons?
She has a rod. Din.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Wild.
So.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna be making little postcards too. Of some Star Wars Geek Girl art because I haven't done that in a long time, but I finally did it and it's done. And Zoe, you better have that hair by the time we get there.
I can't go to work with that hair, so I have to wait till I'm off work before leaving and dye it. And then I have to get back from work and I'm going to cut it all off.
Oh.
What hair aren't you going to work?
My plan is to dye the blonde part of my hair pink while we're at Celebration. But I can't have pink hair at work.
Why not?
Because I'm not allowed. I had purple hair when I interviewed there, and they said, we'll hire you, but you have to dye your hair.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to have the blonde bits.
Yeah. I just can't have an unnatural color. Even though this is not natural for me. It could be natural for someone else.
Others may claim as unnatural.
That's pretty good.
Thanks. Thanks. I was thinking about how my dad does voices, and I was like, I have to sell it. There you go.
I'm sure he's very proud.
Thanks. I hope so. I'll get a message whenever, an hour after this is uploaded.
Or is he fast forward?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be more than an hour. We're at an hour 42 already.
I meant no. I meant like when this podcast releases, an hour after that, I'm gonna get a message from my dad.
Right.
Oh, right. An hour
43.
43. You're right. Yes, I thought you were saying something else. And yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
My brain is scrambled, and I have to go to work tomorrow.
This was not a podcast. There were 6 bullet points on this paper, and we've been here for almost 2 hours. I did not expect us to go off the rails. It was very fun.
Yeah,
so I was not anticipating this.
It was way better than the prank you were trying to do on me.
Yeah. Scheduling thwarts us all.
Yeah.
But
one
yeah,
day, oh my gosh, one day we should just have like when Harry can talk a little more, like full on like paragraphs. I don't know. Paragraphs, stories. I don't know how kids work. I haven't been around Harry in a while.
He can fully talk.
He can talk.
I mean, like middle school talk.
What does that mean? Like, his vocabulary is actually is
yeah. Good. You can have full conversations with him. He can tell you stories.
What's the funniest conversations possible?
And he's
pretty funny.
He uses quite long words. It's very impressive.
Middle school doesn't. I'm just saying we should have one where it's just him surprising you. I more
I
so
don't know
mean
how
when
that-
he's more comfortable being on the show.
Oh, he's comfortable being anywhere he's not meant to be. That like
Well, when he's meant to be and he's comfortable in it.
Oh gosh.
anyway, he did ask when you were coming around next. So
I know.
Hurry up, Zoe.
I got Japan coming up. I won't be.
Got
We'll
what,
be here.
2.5 weeks left?
Yeah, that's true. But
well, I'm
Math.
very jealous. Have the best time, you guys. Eat. Oh, you got to go to 7-Eleven for me and eat.
okay.
Oh, Japanese 7-Elevens. Everything is better. Oh, what a place.
Magical place?
Beyond magic.
Oh.
Are you in the future? Are you in the past? Who knows? You're just not in the
My
present.
dad would say we are in my dad would say we are in the present.
Would he?
I think so.
You're really your dad through you is hitting us with the hard ones. Opinions are opinions. We are in the present. We're really getting so much wisdom from Sal through Lizzy, through the filter of Lizzy. We're getting really great wisdom from Sal.
He's an excellent burn, Zoe. I'm so impressed.
It's like he's here with us.
Very impressed.
My dad
Well.
thought we were going to be able to podcast an hour ago. He texted me. He was like, "Hey, you done with that podcast yet? We can podcast about Tales of the Underworld."
Nope.
You can't.
No.
No.
Oh dear. Well, maybe you'll still want a podcast after we wrap up here. For everyone going to Celebration, make sure to check us out on the Holonet News stage on Saturday, 11:30 a.m. They release the map of the stage. It's like on the same side as the Celebration stage. So if you're coming out of the Andor panel and want a place to sit, we'll be right there. Right after that lets out. And if you're not going to Celebration, we'll be live streaming. I think I actually posted like a graphic on this at SW Geek Girl Instagram. It's like a little timetable of what time it will be in different time zones around the world. And I think I made it right. I think I did it right. So you can check your time zone and see. There are a few I think it was if you're in like Central Europe and it's like 4:30 a.m. you can sleep. It's okay. But
or just email Zoe to send you the iCal link, and it will go perfectly.
And it will change to your
time zone.
Yeah. That's what you can do is you can put it into your iCal, and just as long as you put in 11:30 a.m. on Saturday Tokyo time, it will transfer. It will automatically convert to your time zone. So
it's a beautiful thing.
You can do that. Make sure to check out StarWarsGeekGirl.com and theneelnation.com. Neel Nation never dies. For all like a fun writing, we talked about like Star Wars books. If you want to read my book reviews of individual Star Wars books, they're all there. We're on Instagram and Blue Sky at SW Geek Girl. And then of course our Facebook page is Star Wars Geek Girl.
Hey, I was Neil's stand-in dad one day.
I did know this.
And I met Neil before he was famous.
Oh, that's exciting.
And I looked at his little brother and sister's heads. They were
like detached.
Yeah, they were the cutest things, and I made like people like make them blink. Oh, it was quite a day. It was good. It's fantastic. But anyway, you can follow me on steelewars.com on Blue Sky. A little bit on Twitter, but hardly much. But more on Blue Sky. YouTube Steele Wars, and yeah, just subscribe to the podcast. We're trying to do live streams every Monday night American time on your iCal. But I think we're going to live stream while the Mandalorian and Grogu panels on, but I'm undecided because it's just like, how much exciting stuff is there going to be? Like, if they show the trailer, that'd be good, but I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Well, I was gonna just follow Twitter and Blue Sky and sort of like report, but who knows? But either way, subscribe on YouTube. It's good fun.
Good fun.
Great fun.
Amazing fun.
Class A fun.
Yeah, my brain can't think fast enough.
It's okay.
Thank you.
While Lizzie is thinking, you can also check out my dad's show, Hinton Star, on the Hinton Star Wars Family YouTube. He streams live on Wednesdays around, I believe it's around like 8:30ish Eastern time. With Ken from the Rambling Star Wars Fans. Their show is called The Inflatable Falcon. And they talk about Star Wars news and costumes they're working on and things like that.
Sick. And we have the Rogue Rebels, where there's also Lightsaber Academy on Star Wars Kids that my dad is in. And he's doing some pretty cool stuff. We have the RogueRebels.com, Instagram and TikTok at the Rogue Rebels, Twitch at Rogue Rebels, podcast wherever you're listening to Star Wars Geek Girl. Also Twitch. I also sometimes stream. Well, I haven't lately, so I guess one time I streamed while both Star Wars Geek Girl and Rogue Rebels was on the podcast on the stream.
Oh yeah, we're talking about hunters.
If you want to see if that keeps happening, there's the Rogue Rebels Sabine, bean as in beans. So there's that. And then podcast wherever you're listening to Star Wars Geek Girl, Facebook page The Rogue Rebels, Blue Sky at The Rogue Rebels Fam. Yippee!
Yay! So thank you so much, Steele, for being on the show with us to talk some Celebration.
The fact that it's going to be a prank, it's just like...
We would have had you on for another normal one after. Like, we wouldn't have just pranked you. But...
Oh, you would have had me on for another normal one. Thanks.
Well, if you wanted to be on it, but we thought it would also be funny to do a prank.
How dare
But
everyone.
it didn't, the scheduling didn't work out.
Yeah, that's a shame. A real shame.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for being on the podcast nonetheless.
Thanks, Lizzie. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us. Everyone, make sure to follow and check out all those things that we talked about.
And if you're gonna go to the George Lucas Museum, keep an eye out for Zoe. She might go
every single day.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I was Zoe.
I was Lizzie.
I will continue to be Steele.
Awesome.
May the force be with you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Later.